Hello, my name is John Kim. I'm the pastor of high school ministry here at the Grace Chapel Lexington campus. And this is my daughter, Shiloh. Say hi, Shiloh. And this is me in my makeshift standing desk. So we just celebrated Easter this past Sunday, talking about the greatest story that's ever been told. The story about Jesus Christ. A better story than all these different movies and books and docu-series on Netflix. And the Gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are littered with great stories. My personal favorites being the story of Jesus washing the feet of his disciples, or Jesus raising Jairus' daughter from the dead. But there's this one verse that I'm about to read that just absolutely blew my mind when I read it, because it was about the untold stories of Jesus. Today's passage comes from John chapter 20, verses 20 to 21. It says this: "The disciples saw Jesus do many other miraculous signs in addition to the ones recorded in the book. But these are written so that you may continue to believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing in him, you will have life by the power of his name." Now, I don't know about you, but I have a pretty wild imagination. When I daydream, I don't just daydream about being on the beach. I daydream about skydiving onto the waves of the ocean with a surfboard strapped on my feet, and great white sharks swimming through the ocean while I surf through 50-foot waves. And so when I read this verse and I thought about the untold miracles and stories of Jesus, my imagination just went wild. I was thinking and wondering if the disciples ever caught Jesus stealthily flying in order to accomplish a mundane task, like grabbing something from the top of the cabinet. I wondered if there were stories of people coming to Jesus asking for healing for a stubbed toe. But then I began to wonder, what more amazing stories of Jesus loving and caring for the marginalized and the poor and the broken are there that haven't been told? Like, you know how sometimes there are lost tracks or songs from artists that never have been released? And many years down the road, it somehow gets released because someone gets a hold of it. And sometimes those tracks end up becoming one of the more popular tracks by that artist. And it blows my mind to think that there are stories of Jesus Christ that haven't been released that are as amazing as the stories that have already been told about Jesus loving and caring for the marginalized. So, for some of us today who might be feeling like they are already falling in love with Jesus, that they already love Jesus, I just want us to open up our minds and thoughts to the fact that Jesus is even greater than anything we could possibly imagine. The stories that we read about in the Gospels, in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, there's even more and more and more miracles and amazing things that Jesus has done for us. Or maybe there's some of us today that are not totally trusting in the love of Jesus Christ. And for you, I hope this could be a little bit of an encouragement. That there are so many stories and miracles of Jesus Christ loving on the stranger, the poor, and the marginalized, that it wouldn't even fit in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. 4 books couldn't contain the stories of the love of Jesus. And so I hope that that could be a little bit of an encouragement to you today. That the one that we love, the one that we follow, Jesus Christ, he is so amazing and so great that we couldn't even fit all the stories about him in 4 books. That's the one that we love. And that's the one that we worship.